right now. Hi, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Not too bad. It's been a horrible day, but that's okay.
I have heard that across the board. A lot of the virtual teachers were saying that it was a ridiculous day as well.
Yeah.
Bad day to get started.
One of my things.
Did you have a lot of kids that were caught in that Kojiko thing?
No, it was us that were. It was more the teachers, I think. So we couldn't do the meets, so they kind of just had to do whatever they wanted, I guess. But
Oh yeah.
so we were kind of stuck that way. But when I did go back on my meets, I have a question for you that way that, and I sent it to my IT person or whoever our school one is. The microphone won't come on. So it says it's off in my, someone else did? Oh, good, because it says it's off in the settings, but my settings say it's on and it's at 100%. So I don't know.
I had a meet with my virtual teachers today, and someone was saying that that's been something that's been happening to hers. Like it started out not so often, and now it's happening once a week. She's found that she has to like shut down entirely before and then come back. But like in the middle of teaching, you don't really have time to do that.
Yeah, and I tried that and it didn't work. Like I did it between my meets. So for the next meet, I turned it off and turned it back on and thought, okay, maybe that'll work. But that didn't work this time. For me anyway.
Of course not. Because it's got to be one of those days. So yeah, it sounds like just a tech thing that's glitch with it. So did you message your Seesaw or IT?
I messaged Seesaw just with that.
Yeah. So. And are you using a school device or a home device?
School device. So my iPad would work. So I have my microphone on my iPad, but my laptop wouldn't. But then with both of them, I can't present. So with the, I'm having a lovely, frustrating day. But
it's
so yeah, we chat and I couldn't even chat. So I was just waving thumbs up.
So it was really positive then.
Oh yeah.
Thumbs up, that's awesome.
I'm really hoping it's 3 more days. But with the presenting, that was my other question for you guys is the iPad that I have, so the microphone's on, but when I tried to present, it only asked me to present the whole screen. That's the only option I have. So I say, yep, I'll present the whole screen. And then it says there's an error. So that it won't allow it to share the screen. So I don't know what's that problem. And so I did the same with the iPad, even though I didn't have microphone. I thought, oh, let's try and see if they can see, because they can see me. Can they see something from YouTube and actually hear it coming through the internet versus just me? And they couldn't even see it. So it wasn't even presenting. So I don't know what I'm doing, but that did not work.
So I have a couple thoughts about that. One could be when you initially went into the Google Meet and it first asks you for to allow like microphone and video.
Yep.
Sometimes I'm really quick and I like click off and I don't accept it. So I'm wondering if you initially had clicked that you didn't allow that. So you might have to go into settings to allow that to go first.
I think I did.
Other thoughts, Nicole?
I've done that many times where I go to share and then I have no sound and then I realize that I haven't clicked to share the audio. I know on my iPad, pardon?
Is it separate to share the audio?
Are you on an iPad? Is that what you said?
Well, no, I'm trying to get on. I'd rather use the laptop. That's what I'm on right now is the laptop. And see, this is working fine, right? On the laptop on Zoom and everything's working fine. But if this was a Google Meet, I wouldn't have any sound. That's my, and since we're not to use Zoom.
Like, so I had today where I went to play something and then I didn't have sound on my O Canada, for example. But what I had to do was stop sharing and I had to back into it and I had to share the tab.
Okay.
And open it up in that tab and then the sound would play as long as I was not sharing my entire screen. I was sharing that tab.
So, and I tried to do just like with the laptop, I tried to just share the the window, right? Was that the same thing as sharing the tab?
The tab.
I don't know about the window.
shares,
I've never shared the window.
Okay.
Windows shares from your computer itself. So like if you had like a PDF that's housed on your computer,
Okay.
that's what that shares. And the tab is what will share like internet links.
Just that tab.
And you
okay.
have to select the tab that you want to
Right.
share.
Right.
Because I've done that before
And I've
where
also-
I've tried to share something and I click the wrong one. And then I think, because I can hear it, that I'm sharing it. And they're like, we can't see, that's not what we're seeing. And we don't hear anything because I clicked the wrong one. So it could be something like that as well.
Okay. I'll try that again.
And I also had today, I create a lot of my stuff in Google Slides and then I embed like hyperlinks right within those. When I went to play them today, it didn't play the sound. So I just quickly took like where I had received my OK link from, and I put that in the URL up top. And then when I shared my screen, I shared the tab. And as soon as I selected share the tab, or yeah, the screen, not the screen, the tab, my sound played fine.
Okay. Good to try. I like these ideas.
Just one of those days, it sounds like there was a lot of craziness from Google perspective and also from the Cogeco issue, and those things just never mix well, unfortunately. I see we have a few new faces here. Hi, Sari. Did I say your name right? Sarah? And Jen is here.
Hi, I was here yesterday too, but just listening in. Are you looking for questions?
Awesome.
Not yet.
How did your day go?
Mine was good, except for I'm wondering why on my meet today I couldn't see everybody all at once. I mean, their tiles were all there, but I would see 1, 2, maybe 4 faces at a time, and then otherwise just their initials on there. But I don't know what
I have that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have that same problem, but what is happening, I think I'm gonna go to school tomorrow because what's happening is my bandwidth at home is too low. And it says your bandwidth is too low, the video can't load, like it won't show the video. So I'm thinking that that's my problem. I don't know, Tanya, if you have a different idea for
Yeah,
that.
so I taught from home from September to December, so I can speak on that. That's
Yes,
definitely kind of the issue that happens is if that's like an intranet struggle where I just can't handle and show all the pictures. So I would find if my husband, who's also working from home, if he was on a meet or a phone call, I would lose like all the kids. I would have maybe one kid and they'd be like a robot because it would be breaking out kind of thing. And then when his thing would end, everyone would pop up again.
Okay, so it's
it
nothing that
definitely
I've hit in settings or done wrong. Then it just, yeah, I hadn't seen that before. So I'm like, tried fixing it for a little bit this morning and thought, oh, well, we'll go with what we have. And then, later in the day, then I saw all of them at once and then, it'd be hit and miss exactly. So, okay, thank you.
Yeah, and it's kind of
Have
awkward
you
to
know
try
what?
to teach with just letters and not faces in front of you. So hopefully that will get straightened out. And it will be
Yeah,
better
like
for
first
you.
thing in the morning, I'm thinking, okay, they have their cameras off, and then it's like, they're like, no, we can see each other. It's okay. So.
What I did find, what helped this morning, even though I couldn't see them all at once, if I were to, do you know how you can pin a student to the screen?
Okay.
Do you know how to do that?
Well, I know that the pinning option is there, but.
Yeah, so just beside them or over their picture, they have like the pin, unpin, mute, or you can remove them from the class.
Right, yeah.
What I did was when I had one student talking, I couldn't pin in the tiles, but I pinned them to the screen and then I could see their video.
Okay.
So you could try that too.
Try with pinning, okay. Okay, thank you. Now, when I know you guys were talking about sharing in the things with tabs and videos. Some, I don't know if I should ask or not, because some of that's new to me and I've been sharing the tab, but if I had like a Jack Hartman video, like, am I supposed to do that from like the same list as I would with my slides, or from the tab at the top, are you saying? Or I just want to clarify that just from hearing part of your conversation.
Yeah,
Or-
so that's when you are in the Google Meet and you're sharing. So when you first say that you want to share or present,
Yes. Yep.
you want to click where it says a tab, and then that will allow
That's-
the audio
yep.
to show from that. And we were just kind of joking, make sure that you click the tab that you actually want to play.
Right,
Because
okay.
sometimes you get like a bunch of different tabs up and ready for the day. And if you click on the wrong one, but you're playing the video, you'll hear it, but you didn't
Right.
select that tab. And so they don't
Right.
hear it, and they're thinking that you're crazy because you're bopping around to the music,
Yeah.
and you're the only one that's doing that. So then
But
they let you know.
Just to clarify, and it's probably a silly question, but are you talking about tabs at the top or from my list going
From
down?
your list. Yeah.
Like, okay,
So
'cause
I'll
that's the
go
way it-
into a Google Meet
Yeah.
and I can show you.
Well, I mean,
and
that's
there's
exactly
never a
what
silly question.
Well, I think I did it right because it was a list going down the same place I grabbed my slides from that I was sharing. Is that right?
Yeah.
But they, I don't think they could all hear the audio, or it was kind of one of those, I could hardly hear them, and, and then since I couldn't see them either at the time.
So you're talking about making your stuff in Google Slides and trying to play your link through your Google Slides?
Yeah, but you know what? That I didn't even put in a slide, like just the Jack, see, and that's where I don't really know what I'm doing on this, but so like the Jack Hartman video that I wanted to show,
Yeah.
it just came up on my list, like Google Slides was here, and then the Jack Hartman video was there. So I could click on the Jack Hartman video and then it would show it and I could hear it, but I just don't know if that's the right way to do it or not. Like what should I be doing to play a video, really, I guess is the question.
So I'll share with you what I do.
Sure.
And I'm not as familiar with Zoom, so we'll see how this works for here. Can you see it looks like a Google Meet video on your screen? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna click where it says present now, and then you're gonna wanna click where it says a tab.
Yeah.
And then whatever tab, and then whatever, you might have a whole bunch of things here.
Yeah.
You wanna make sure that you click on the right one.
But what's
But
the
yeah,
right
like your
way to
Jack.
put the video in there? Like, is
So
there?
you had it embedded in a slide that you clicked on?
No, I tried some of that last night, but once it just showed up in the list, I thought, well, maybe I just wasn't sure what I'm supposed to do or what the best way is to do. So, because it
Yep,
showed
that's
Jack Hartman video right in the list of, like in that list.
Yep, and it might do that because if you
Yeah.
click on it, then
Yeah.
it's going to like open that as a tab, and then so as long as you select that tab, that should work.
So that's the right way. Okay, I just wasn't sure if the audio was working properly today or not, so I thought maybe I did it wrong, but okay, thank you.
And you know how when Tanya just had that up and then she had all across the top horizontal, all the tabs she had opened are
Yes.
the ones that show up in the list.
Right,
So,
yeah, but I'm supposed to
mine
select
today
it from the
too.
list. Yeah, okay,
Yeah, so mine today too for my Jack Hartman, I played one as well, and I just selected that was the tab that I was going to share, and my audio ended up working. So.
okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Are you guys normally sharing, like, I guess I just don't, I can screen share that way, but from like to show your Seesaw activity when you're explaining that, or?
Yeah, so that's exactly what I do when
So
I'm
you're
showing
doing that the same way,
Seesaw.
right?
Yeah,
Okay,
and I'm going to do that again. I'm going to show some different Seesaw things today, so
Okay.
you'll be able to see that.
yeah, because I saw that in your list too, and okay. Because I mean, one of my Seesaw things I put in slides to show, the picture of the activity they were doing, but I thought I probably didn't need to, but it was late last night. I just had to get everything done.
For sure, and you'll find that you might do things differently as it progresses. So
Oh, definitely,
the
yeah.
things that I did at one point is not things that I did towards the end, and I think we just continue to change. So
That's for sure. Learn as we go and change for sure.
most definitely.
Are you all familiar with Jamboard?
Somewhat, and I was in yesterday too, but I would like to learn about it, yeah.
Awesome. So we have just a couple things to kind of show you about that. Would you, those that are here, would you say that you are probably in the beginning stages of getting used to Seesaw, Jamboard, being remote, that kind of things? I think those of you that I've spoken to already probably are. But I know some that might have been quarantined for a little bit might have a little bit more experience with that. And so if you want more information, feel free to reach out and let us know. And we can kind of show you some next steps with that. So do you want to do this, Nicole?
Yeah.
Am I sharing?
So,
can you see that?
Yep, our territorial land acknowledgement. I just have a picture here of, I took a walk with my dog the other morning when we had the beautiful snowy morning. So just like to acknowledge that the land on which we are gathered virtually here is part of the traditional territory of the Odawa, Pawnee, Delaware, and Chippewa nations. And I'm very grateful to be able to go for these walks and just enjoy nature and all it has to store.
Awesome, thank you. So I did create a Jamboard to share this. So a lot of times I think we see things that are shared from slides, but I know that there was some interest in Jamboard. So I created my presentation today from Jamboard so we can kind of see that. We've already kind of had some discussion about what the day was like. So we'll have a quick here about what Jamboard is and why you might like to use Jamboard. So it can be really helpful for problem solving because it's kind of a shared platform that students can brainstorm and you can brainstorm. And the thing that I really like about Jamboard, and I think is kind of where your home base is going to be in grade 1 and 2 for just a few days, is that it is really easy to make that learning visible to the students because it's really like a smart board on your computer. And we have some more options with that than what we would on slides. And we're going to kind of get into that. There's some other really awesome things that you can do with it with teamwork and creativity and things. But I think we're going to focus on using Jamboard as a teacher platform as opposed to student-based, because by the time your students wrap their brains around what that can look like for them and how to access it, our time was going to be up. So we want to work smarter, not harder, and make things more difficult. And you can do just a lot of differentiated things with Jamboard. So we'll talk a bit about the tools here.
So all of the Jamboard tools are right to the left-hand side. And there's the Jamboard Pen. And if you click on that, it has just some different options of the tools you can use: marker, pen, paintbrush. There's just a few limited colors, but those are the options. The eraser would be the next one. Tanya's just showing those different ones there.
So this is just
that's the select. Okay, and then, okay, so the sticky notes are really handy because you can color code your thinking or organize your thinking, and you type right on those. And you can change the color of them. You can resize them once they get onto.
You can rotate with those, and you can do that with text as well, resizing it. So something that can be something we're not as used to on here. When I first did text, right, we're often looking for the size. I want to change the size of it. To do that, you just grab from the corner and pull it larger, and then we'll resize the text.
You can add images. I often work between 2 devices because if I have Jamboard on my iPad, then I can just quickly select images from my iPad, pop them in, and then go back on my laptop. I find that handy, but yeah, you can search right the Google Images and pick your images.
And it puts it right in. I do find sometimes it can take a little while for it to load in there. And with those 2, you can resize and rotate pictures that you might have on there.
You can also copy and paste images from other places too. It doesn't just have to be a search through Jamboard.
Yeah. And that one's for the text, and you can make the different shapes
Add
in
shapes
here.
on there. The pointer is the fun one.
my favorite. So if you're talking about a specific thing, you can use that to circle and then it disappears. So that brings the students' eyes to that spot. And I found that that was really handy, and the kids see it and they're like, whoa, what is that? And it blows their mind for the first few minutes, which is always fun. Another thing that I really love about number talks on Jamboard is being able to do those number talks on Jamboard that you are doing in your classrooms. And so the nice thing about this is because it has those pen tools, it allows you to kind of draw on the page for that to show the different student thinking, and you can choose the different colors when different students explain different things to you. I do prefer to do this from my iPad, so I would join the meet from from my iPad, and I would have my microphone and my camera off, and then I would share the screen from my iPad and have Jamboard up so that I can use my stylus to write on it, because I find it really difficult to write from the mouse. But if you have a touchscreen laptop, that could work as well. Or just being able to use some of those tools is really, really handy.
And for a few days, you know, it's not the easiest to just use your mouse to do it, but it's not too bad. If you're doing a number talk, it's a quick whiteboard, and for a few days it'll work.
Pretty quick to be able to just write the numbers on here. It's not
so
maybe
even if that's the only thing that, yeah, even if it's the only thing you're going to use Jamboard for is just like number talks and having it as the whiteboard, I think that's so useful. So
definitely. Another thing that we really love about Jamboard are the SD mysteries. Are you familiar with SD mysteries at all in here? So these are from Steve Wyborny, and there's a website that has them, and I'll link that on here. I should have done that. But this is really handy because with those tools that you have on here, you could go through a whole class lesson with these different SD mysteries. So having a discussion about how many of these little cupcake icon things are inside of this jar. And then the first clue, the answer is a number less than 50. So I would use the highlighter and would kind of color all of these things and say, okay, it can't be any of these. What numbers could it be? And it can really have a good discussion with the students about that. And then I would switch over and move that clue over. So I created these using that sticky note feature. And then we see the next one, clue 2, the answer is an odd number. So we know, and that brings us to discussion about odd and even. And it makes it really easy for you to go through and kind of erase any ones that it cannot be. So that way you can see what's left, or you could do it the opposite way as well. I have this as a Seesaw activity that I did with students. So I'm going to share this with you at the end. So if you click on any of these down here for Seesaw activity, it will bring you to Seesaw, and you will have an activity that's ready to go that you could send to the students. So you could do this exact lesson if you wanted. And then there's a Seesaw activity that goes with that. That's kind of the next one in the series that he has.
Okay, so I just posted the link. I just posted the link to the Steve Wyborny SD Mysteries in the chat.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Do you have anything else to add about using the SD Mysteries, Nicole? You could use different colors as well if you wanted to go through the different clues and just to for different things as well. Just kind of a neat thing with those features.
And if you do explore some of his SD mysteries on there, at first it kind of seems a little overwhelming about the clues and the items, but they're really easy to customize. I know last time we were doing virtual learning and I put Cheerios inside of a little glass and I reduced the numbers and kind of tried to accommodate to our learners there and come up with clues on those and still used 100 characters. So they are relatively easy to customize your own clues on there too, but his website is a phenomenal resource and you can pull them right off there too.
Awesome. So I made a kind of test class to kind of show you because I spoke with the grade 2 virtual teachers today about some things that they wish that they had known. So I'm just going to kind of go over some of those things. So we know that when you post an activity, it goes to this activities section over here, and you can see what has been scheduled for the students that this has been assigned. And you can also schedule different activities. So I scheduled an activity to pop up tomorrow morning in this class. So that's really handy if you don't want to have to remember to do that at a later time. And to do that, did you know that you can do that? Just to see if you people knew. Yeah, awesome. So you would assign an activity for that. Choose whatever activity it is that you would like to share. So let's say we wanted to do that one, assign, and you can select who you want to do that for. And then you go over here to the schedule and you can select when you want that to pop up.
So it's nice it won't pop up at 10 o'clock at night when you're working. It'll pop up and they think that you're up bright and early posting those things.
And especially when you don't have to worry. You may want to give the lesson and then have the activity pop up after the lesson. So I found that I had some students that liked to say that they got all their work done in the morning if I posted it, but they didn't hear the lesson. So they didn't necessarily know exactly what they had to do. So this is kind of a way that you can make sure that you are getting it to them throughout the day after the lessons. So there was that one. And then someone else had mentioned that they wanted you to know that you can go in and add a response from the student perspective. So let's say in this activity that a student is struggling to get the activity done, you can select, I'm going to select Harry that I'm helping here. And you can actually do the activity from his perspective. So this would show his activity that he has completed this from his perspective. So when you post it and you helped him, it shows that he. So you can go through it with individual students. If someone's really struggling to get it done, and then it's done, and then they don't have to go back and do it after. It's already done if you select their name to do the activity. So that was kind of two things that they had wanted me to mention to you for that. And then here are just some other kind of Seesaw activity suggestions. It's a great week to try coding if you haven't gotten to that yet. And I have some different, there's a Seesaw activity link here for a coding activity. Because every student's going to have a device that's going to be doing these. So you might not have that opportunity in class. And so it might be a good time to try those types of things here. Here's just another one, Scrabble Tiles, where they have to create words and add up the numbers of what it goes to. And then this one was just another one to move the magnifying glass and find the words, and then you can have them record to themselves saying those words as well. Do you know how to find different activities within Seesaw that have already been created? I see one shaking head, yeah. So I'll just kind of do a quick. So if you wanted to find more, I would take a look at the school and district. There's a lot of things in there that have been posted, and they're going to depend on what groups you are a part of. So based on your school, and if someone has shared it to the Lambton Kent District School Board, I'm connected with the virtual schools. So yours might look a little bit different, but there's a bunch here. And so if you have one that you would like to do, you would just click on it, give it that heart, and then it becomes your activity that you can own and that you can share with the students.
Yeah, always take a look at them too, just to custom them to meet your learners, because there might be some things that don't quite fit as well. So you can just copy and edit that activity.
For sure. And then just another thing that has come up is about engagement. So There's some really great would you rather type of activities on YouTube that you could share that kind of help to engage the learner. So this one here that I have gives like an option, would you rather ride a unicycle or walk like a penguin? And so the student has to do an activity for, I think it's like 10 seconds to kind of show you what they're choosing. And just for some of those brain break moments where they're kind of getting a little squirrely, it's a good opportunity to be able to just put that on and have them kind of do that activity as the day goes on. Another thing that was suggested that some found useful is using the mute and unmute. So they printed them off or they've made them out of cardstock and they just kind of hold them up to show the students that you would like them to mute their mic or that someone needs to unmute. That is sometimes helpful as well. Any other questions or comments about any of that?
Can I just ask a question?
For sure, yeah.
I was going to use like one of my own activities from last summer, March to June, and I did, but you know how you can select, I guess, when you make them what grade they're for, right? So I made it for my grade 1. Well, then I was changing it for today, you know, for my grade 2s, like just a word study thing. And then I just wondered whether or not I could change that to say grade 2 at the bottom or not at this point.
Yeah, so if you've gone in, so if this is the activity and you've gone into edits, you might go in copy and edit, and that kind of creates a copy, and then you can change all of these tags in it again. So if I say copy and edit here.
Yeah, because that's what I do is copy and edit, but for some reason last night I didn't get that grade thing changed, but.
Yeah, and then you can after, it's just edit the activity if you need to go into those options. And of course, I'm not in the right spot here. I think it was here, right?
That's about what I did too, was.
Have those moments, where we're just, oh, I think it's just not showing up here for me.
Anyway, no worries if you're not sure. I just was trying to figure that out for a little bit last night too.
Yeah.
Because I edited the activity, no problem, but it was just, you know, to tag it that way.
Yeah. And it's usually more options and mine isn't popping up. So it looks to me like my screen is shrunk. Because there should be another option down here to change those. Oh, I don't want to print it.
Okay, well,
I know when
I think it's right here. Nicole, is that what you're thinking as well?
Well, I know, like, when I was creating some learning commons activities last year for different grades, but yet I was tagged as a different grade level. Like it always put me in as that grade level. So like this year, if I'm creating an activity for a different grade, but I'm considered kindergarten, it always tags it under there as kindergarten, even though I'm creating it for a different age class. I don't know that, I'm not sure how to do that.
And it's not necessarily a big deal. It was just one of those things where I thought, well, I have 1, 2, so I don't really want the grade 2 parents to think, why is she giving our kids grade 1 work? You know, like it's kind of, I know it's not the worst thing, but just something I wondered if there was an easy edit to it or not, but no worries.
And usually
I share that.
Where you can change that, but it's not allowing me to go down.
Okay, yeah, well, like I said, I tried the general area and I can try again, but thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Even I'm wondering if you can, like, because that grade out spot, because you're under that grade, it automatically puts you in there. And I'm just wondering if you could maybe, in whatever your title is on it, maybe for parents just say like grade 2 coding activity or something, even the bottom grade area says that grade.
Yeah, and I do that, but I actually called it group A and group B because I have like for sure one boy in grade 2 that I had in grade 1 last year and he needs the grade 1 work at most, you know what I mean? So I don't call it by grade, but it's by group, right? Yeah. Same purpose. So, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome. Are there any other questions about Seesaw?
Or successes? Was there anything that went really well that you think other people could benefit from as well? from today? I know there were some dark moments of what all that happened today, but were there some like successes you felt good about from the last 2 days that you wanted to share?
I mean, I had some people that have struggles with technology and they got in today, you know, just various things with their devices. So it was nice to see the kids really after, you know, parents have been trying since, you know, we've been back and forth for a bit on that. So that was just nice to see them and that they could join now.
Yeah, I know I had all but one today, and the Monday we had about 6 away because of those kinds of issues, but then today we just had one away. So it is nice to have, and just seeing them, right, and how excited they are to be back and together.
And I think they like why we wear masks, obviously, but I think they like seeing us without our mask too, because they're not used to that, you know. So
I know we had that conversation with my EC, like the ECE in the room too, and my colleague, and like that's the thing, they're used to always seeing us from here, and the whole excitement of, whoa, that's what you look like. You know. Even my son is in grade 6 and he saw his teacher. He's like, oh my goodness, I saw Mr. Hogan without a mask. So.
So I'm just gonna check the chat box here and see if there's, oh, and someone says that their Google Meet first thing was awesome because she could see almost all of them and letting them unmic and chat with each other for a few minutes was fun. So that's awesome. And Teresa says that today she found it helpful for a phonics type lesson, demonstration and group discussion, example words that rhyme and act. Do you want to speak on that, Teresa?
Hello, yes, I'd like to. I wish I could put my screen on to show you. I don't know, I can't seem to get that to work. Here I am thinking I'm getting so techie here, but I guess this isn't working. So anyways, can you hear me okay?
We can sort of thing. Do you see the green below that says share screen?
Yes, can I click on there?
Yep, yeah. Do you need audio?
I just needed, no, video. Okay. I don't know why. Oh, here it is. Thank you. Okay,
if you want sound to work, just select share audio.
Hi, here I am.
Hey, hi.
Yes. I want to say almost in the wee hours of the morning, Jamboard and I, you know, got to know each other well, but probably should have went to bed earlier, but I was just so excited to try to work on this. I have a monitor and I learned how to split the screen so that I could, so yeah, I was on a mission last night, but so it helped so much because I felt like I had something to work with, you know, like we'd be at school with a smart board, totally different, but I just felt like it saved me today. And, you know, to be able to do that, the Jamboard, we worked on that a couple times. So and it's fantastic. Like you can bring in images. That's what I loved about it. And so I'm kind of excited about, should we be excited? But excited about what I'm going to do tomorrow with it. So it's.
Should we be excited? Yes, of course you should.
I'm just like, I was, you know, we're all panicked. I'm sure I must be the only one, but anyways, it was
last night too. We could have chatted.
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking, just this whole thing coming, and I thought, okay, because it's totally different, and we didn't go to school, you know. It's not like it's nobody's fault. It's just the way it is, and we got to manage. And everybody's been really good all around, you know, from our mentors to our parents to the students, and so far so good. So yeah, so we'll see.
I've been really impressed too.
Yeah. So, but thank you for the great idea with the estimistry, however you say it, because I was looking at that too. That was suggested yesterday, but I was thinking, okay, we haven't talked about odd and even numbers yet, and they won't get that part. And it seemed a little high level, but I really liked how you could take parts of it and set it up and have the 100 chart. Like that was super fantastic. I thought, oh, there's a great idea.
Awesome.
So what you could do from there, what's that? Sorry, go ahead, Tanya.
I was just going to say you can change the clues as well. So he has a list of different clues. Perfect. Go ahead, Nicole.
No, go ahead. I was going to say that exact same thing.
Yeah, if you have words that you haven't discussed yet, you can change that to say it's going to be in the a 2 is going to be in the tens column or something like that, rather than saying odd or even. And that really helps to make it to the student's level that you're kind of aiming at.
Yeah, and just grab a handful of baby carrots and put them in a little bowl, see-through, like they ideally, right? So they can kind of see top to bottom around. And then you could even just quickly make your clues on Jamboard with the sticky notes. So and then have like copy that activity, take out the pictures and redo the clues, and then you have your own mystery.
Oh, your microphone is off.
I was doing this all day with the kids. Can you put your mic on? Can you take your mic off? And I'm doing the same thing, right? Anyways, thank you. Thank you so much.
I did notice also that you asked about how to draw a straight line on Jamboard, and you can actually do that. And it's one of those things that has just kind of come out. So to kind of show that, so you would select your pen tool, your color, whatever you want to do, and then you're going to hit the shift button on your computer. So you're going to want to do this from the laptop. Hit the shift button and then start drawing. And then when you let go, it makes a straight line.
There's a quick and easy number line.
Okay, great.
Number text or whatnot. So shift and
then just shift and the mouse.
The tool.
And drag it across, and then when you let go from the shift, then that stops the straight line.
I'll give that some practice. That it shows there's some potential there. Yeah, I was working on number lines with a number line today, and it wasn't looking too pretty, but it's up there. So I said, be patient with me. And I thought I could import, like maybe bring in an image of a number line. Wasn't having luck with that this morning, but this gives me hope. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said, where you got the number line that way. What, shift and?
So shift, hold the shift down, and then just drag your mouse across the screen. And then when you let go of shift and you let go of your mouse, then you have a straight line.
Okay, I thought Nicole said something about a number line though. No?
She was just saying how you can use that to create the number line.
Oh, just to create. Okay. I thought maybe you meant something was going to pop up too. Sorry.
However, I'm wondering, because Jamboard now has a new feature, and that's set background. So Tanya, I wonder if you could show set background and choose, can you not search it from Google Images?
Let's see.
And search a number line and set that. So what that does, as opposed to cutting and pasting a number line, when you set it as a background, it won't move around on the Jamboard. It'll actually be background, so they can, like, you can manipulate it all over without it actually moving.
So here's the number line here from 1 to 10. And then even if I try to click on it, I can't click on it now because it's a background image, like Nicole had said. So you can use your other tools to color on top of it, and it will stay there. So I'll just do a new one.
That's just a new feature of Jamboard.
So that was on your page, set background, and then add the image. And then I went to Google image search, and you could go number line. Just put it in different, these ones aren't going to show it, but you could even have one saved to your hard drive. So if you had one saved as an image or from Google Photos, and then you can just import the number line in there. So then I clicked on it and I hit set as a frame background.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I love Jamboard so much because it's already part of our Google, right? And so everything you do, it automatically saves right away, and it's so accessible right from everything. It's all in, it's in your documents right away. Like, it's super handy. And if you wanted to share it with the kids and have like any of them do something on your Jamboard, you can copy the URL up top and paste it in your chat. And they can do something on your Jamboard. But you have to make sure when you're copying the URL and pasting it down in the chat that you have, so just like a Google slide, and you have to change permissions for people to use it, right? So anyone with the link can join or can modify or edit whatnot. And that's, you have to make sure your permissions are changed before you have them access it.
I'm just going to show you one other thing too, because I see that someone had mentioned about using the number line that you couldn't find one that was beyond. So there's an extension here that I've downloaded that allows you to like screen grab really easily. So it's this one here, and it's called Light. I'll have to check it. Light shot or something like that. So when I click on it, I can just screenshot a portion, and then I click my Control C, and then I can bring it into my Jamboard if I wanted to paste it in there, and then it will paste in there if you want. So I just clicked on number line 1 to 30 printable version so that I'm making sure I'm not getting a copywritten version of that. And it's a quick and easy way to screenshot that.
I need to get better with using extensions.
As you can see on mine, I have quite a few across the top here that I'm getting. There's another way that you can do that as well from if you have a Windows computer, is to do the Windows key, Shift, and S at the same time. So Windows, Shift, and S, and then you can do the same thing. It creates like a clipboard of it, and then that Control C, and then you can bring it back to where you want it. You can see it told me that it's saved the snip, and then it will import it if you don't want to download that extension.
So Tanya told me about this little trick how many days ago? Just a few days ago. And I have used it every single day, multiple times since she told me about it. So if there's anything you're going to take away from today, it would be Alt, Shift, S, and you can screenshot on your laptop or what you're working on.
Yeah, I think it's
Windows,
one of the most
Shift,
S. So thinking of going forward, what would be helpful for you going forward? What other things could we do to support you? What other wonderings do you have?
Maybe we'll ask you at midnight or something.
Sure, feel free to email me.
As we work through things like this.
For sure, because that's always when you come up with the things, is in the middle of the night of, oh, how do I do this?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're happy to support you. And there are a ton of people that have the answers to these types of things. So I hadn't known about how to draw the straight line, but Melissa Dent had shared that with us in the virtual world, because we were all going like frustrated about that. And she's like, oh, you just do this. And we're like, oh my goodness, that's so helpful. So if I don't know, there's people that will know these different things that can be really useful. So feel free, if you have thoughts or questions over the evening or tonight as you are working through, please do email me. And that kind of helps me to know.
Or myself too.
Yeah.
Email me as well.
To know what we can do to kind of help support and what kind of questions you have.
Can I ask another quick question?
Sure.
When I was playing songs or you know, a video, like a story, it's very like choppy, like cutting in, cutting out. Is that common across anyone? I'm guessing it's a common problem.
So that's an internet issue. And I found that what would help with that is I would turn my camera off when that was happening. And sometimes that would help because it's a bandwidth kind of thing. So you might have to do that to try to decrease that choppiness.
So from my end, then it's my problem. Okay, so great news. I'm getting new internet installed like as we speak. So I'm hoping this will be better because it's been bad. So maybe that'll fix that for tomorrow. Yay.
And I found mine super slow because I was trying to play O Canada and it was really choppy. And then I had my son here and my daughter on a device as well, so that bogged it right down. But once they got up, the other videos I was playing worked really well.
Yeah, and it
Okay,
can just
that's encouraging. Thank you.
Or if you, sometimes I know I get so many tabs up across open. So if you minimize the amount of tabs that you have open, it'll also play it a little better. That's one other thing that may help out a bit, not guaranteed, but it may.
All right, so before I forget, I'm gonna put this Jamboard in the chat so that you can get your own copy of that. So if you want access to those Seesaw activities, you can do that. There was one other thing that I had wanted to share, and that was about sharing a YouTube video. So if you wanted to share a YouTube video from with your students, so what you can do, and my internet's being slow here. Sorry, there we go. So let's say you wanted to share this video, which is that Just Dance Blue Dabba-Dee, just because that came up, because my students loved that song. So up here where it has the watch, where you see between the W and the question mark, if you put an, I can't think of the name right now, the underline, and you put pop up, and then you hit enter, that will lock it so that it is just that video. So if you wanted to share a video, so say you wanted to do a read aloud with students, and you wanted to save that within Seesaw so that they could listen to a book and then do some activity on it. If you do this little trick with that underscore pop-up, it locks it so that they see that video in their full screen and there's none of the other gibberish on the side of it. So that was between the H from watch and the question mark, it's underscore and pop-up.
Tanya, can I also offer another way to do that? Is what I didn't know about that underscore, but that is great to know as well. I'll also show what I do, and it's the new. It used to be SafeTube, but SafeTube has changed to Video Link. Have you that at all?
I used to do that, but then I had all of mine saved with SafeTube, and so then I was.
Then you had to change them all over.
My links had to change in my virtual classroom. And so if you do it with this way, the pop-up, I haven't heard of issues with that link expiring.
Okay. I did SafeTube too, and I had to change them over. So maybe it's best just to go with the underscore pop-up, and then you don't have to worry about changing that over at all.
Yep. Just another idea to throw out there.
Okay, so that was from the watch.
I was trying it last night because a coworker had suggested that as well. And it wasn't working for me when I was trying out my, what I was going to do today, I guess, if that makes sense. So I must have been doing something wrong, like it wouldn't work. Do you have to prepare it ahead of time, or can you just be right in it and do it?
I was right in it and I did it right now. Like I didn't have that prepared.
Okay.
Did you hit enter after you did it?
Maybe that would be why. That might be it. Yes.
So when you change that, and then I hit that enter button, and that like changed it to where it now says embed instead of whatever gibberish it said before.
Okay.
Then I know, and it popped up big on the screen.
Yes.
And I'm happy to do a meet with you later if you would like to give that a try.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's something I'll give it a try again tonight. And then if I still have trouble, how's that? And then I'll maybe email you or something. Is that?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put that in the chat box again.
Yes.
So if anyone wants that.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for having this available, and it's good. Good to. So one more day down, 3 more, right?
3 more.
So yeah.
And there's lots of different things that are in that Seesaw, the activities. So, or like SD mysteries that are kind of already prepared. So don't feel you need to reinvent the wheel with a lot of these things either. There's a lot of things that you can kind of make some small tweaks to and move ahead with them.
You mean in Seesaw? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I had been wondering, like, do we assign activities? We're working with the students all day, and I think that's what I was struggling with a few days ago. Like, do we make activities, but do we still work with them? And, so.
So I think it depends on your class and kind of what they need during that time. All right, so if there's anything else we can help with, we'll be here for a few more minutes. But otherwise, thank you so much for your time and your contributions and your questions and suggestions and things. I really appreciate that. And I'm so happy to help you. So please let us know if there's any other wonderings that you have that we can help you with.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good day tomorrow.
You guys too. Internet and all. Thank you.
Yep.